Something is coming for you. You can feel it closing in right behind you in the dark. You have to run, but your legs have turned to concrete, every step like wading through wet cement. So you do the only thing left. You open your mouth to scream, to call for help, to make any sound at all. And nothing comes out. Not a whisper. You strain with everything you have, your whole body screaming on the inside, and the world stays perfectly, horribly silent. And then you jolt awake, heart pounding, gasping, finally able to move. Everyone has had some version of this. The scream that won't come, the legs that won't run, the punch thrown in slow motion that never lands. It's one of the most common and most terrifying experiences in all of human dreaming. So why does it happen? Why, in the exact moment you need your body most, does it completely abandon you? Why can't you scream in a nightmare? The answer is one of the most fascinating things your body does every single night, and it's not a failure at all. In fact, the reason you can't scream is the same reason you're safe. Because right now, while you're dreaming, your body is paralyzed, deliberately, completely, by your own brain. So let me show you what's actually happening when you try to scream in a dream and no sound comes. By the end, you'll understand the hidden paralysis that grips you every night, the vital reason your brain switches your body off, why your dreaming mind is genuinely sending the command to scream even though nothing happens, and why your dream turns that silence into the exact shape of your terror. Let's start with where dreams actually live, because the whole mystery unlocks from there. Your sleep isn't one single state. You cycle through stages all night, and the most vivid, story-like, emotional dreams, the ones you remember, the nightmares, happen during a stage called REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement, because in this stage, your eyes dart around behind your closed lids. And REM is a genuinely strange state to be in, because in almost every way your brain looks wide awake, it lights up with activity, sometimes even more than when you're conscious. It's generating entire worlds, characters, plots, terrors. But there's a catch, and it's the key to everything. While your brain is blazing with activity, your body has been switched completely off. This is called REM atonia. Atonia just means without muscle tone, without tension, floppy. During REM sleep, a small cluster of cells deep in your brainstem sends a powerful, continuous signal down your spinal cord that actively shuts off your voluntary muscles, not relaxes them. Paralyzes them. Your arms, your legs, your torso, and yes, the muscles you'd use to scream are all clamped down, held in a state of near total paralysis. For the duration of every dream, you are, functionally, a prisoner in your own body. You just never notice because you're usually too busy dreaming to try to move. So now the silent scream starts to make a terrible kind of sense. But before we get to the scream itself, you have to understand why your brain would do something so drastic. Why would evolution build a system that paralyzes you every single night? It sounds dangerous. It sounds insane. And the answer is, it's the opposite. The paralysis is there to protect you. Think about what a dream is. It's your brain running a full simulation complete with motor commands. When you dream of running, your brain is genuinely firing off the instructions to run. When you dream of fighting, it's sending the signals to swing your arms. When you dream of screaming, it's issuing the command to scream. Now imagine if those commands actually reached your muscles. You would physically act out every dream. You'd sprint out of bed straight into a wall. You'd throw punches at the person next to you. You'd leap, kick, thrash, and run, all while completely unconscious in a pitch-black room full of hard furniture. You'd injure yourself, or someone else, every single night. So your brain installs a safety switch. During REM, when the dreaming is most intense and the motor commands are flying, it cuts the connection between the brain and the body. The commands still get sent. They just can't get through. And we know exactly how important this switch is because we know what happens when it breaks. There's a condition called REM sleep behavior disorder, where the paralysis fails and people's bodies are no longer switched off during dreams. And these people do exactly what you'd fear. They act out their dreams for real. They punch, they kick, they leap out of bed, they shout, they've injured themselves and their partners, all while fast asleep, living out a dream their body is now free to perform. It's a vivid, sometimes dangerous reminder of what that nightly paralysis is quietly saving you from. The atonia isn't a bug. It's one of the most important safety features your body has. So now we arrive at the scream. Here's what's really happening in that moment. In the dream, you decide to scream. Your brain, doing its job, fires off the full motor command. Contract the muscles, push the air, make the sound. That command travels down toward your body exactly as it would if you were awake. But then it hits the wall. The REM paralysis intercepts it at the brainstem, and the signal to your vocal muscles is blocked. The order to scream was given. It was real. It just never arrived. No air moves, no muscles fire, and no sound comes out. You are, in that instant, genuinely trying to scream with all your might into a body that has been unplugged. And here's the part that proves it isn't just your imagination. We actually have evidence that the commands are being sent. There's one set of muscles that REM paralysis leaves switched on. The muscles that move your eyes. That's why it's called rapid eye movement sleep. And scientists realized this created a loophole. They trained people to become lucid, to know they were dreaming while still inside the dream, and then to send a signal, a deliberate pattern of eye movements, left, right, left, right. And from inside the dream, the sleepers did it. On the monitors, their eyes traced out the exact agreed-upon signal, a message sent from within a dream by a paralyzed body. It proved something remarkable. The dreaming mind really is issuing motor commands to the body. The intention to move is completely real. It's just that everything except the eyes is locked down. So when you try to scream and nothing happens, you're not failing to scream. You're succeeding at sending a command that your body has been forbidden to obey. Sometimes a tiny bit even leaks through, a real faint whimper or a twitch, the command bleeding past the paralysis, just enough for the person next to you to hear. But that raises the deepest question of all. Your body being paralyzed explains why no sound comes out in reality. But you're not in reality, you're in the dream. So why does the dream itself render the scream as failing? Why doesn't your all-powerful dreaming brain, which can conjure entire worlds, simply let you scream in the dream where there are no real muscles to worry about? And this is the beautiful, eerie heart of it. Your brain doesn't build your dream experience out of nothing. It builds it partly out of feedback from your body. When you scream while awake, your brain expects a flood of confirmation. The feeling of your chest heaving, your throat vibrating, the sound hitting your ears. That feedback is part of the experience of screaming. But in the dream, your brain sends the command and then it waits for that feedback and none of it comes back because your body is paralyzed and silent. So your brain does what it always does with the information it has. It builds an experience that matches. It registers, I tried to scream, and I received no sound, no sensation, nothing. And it renders that faithfully into the dream as, I opened my mouth and nothing came out. The silence in the dream is your brain accurately reporting the silence of your switched-off body. Your nightmare is telling you the truth. And the exact same thing explains all the other versions. Why your legs won't run, why you're wading through molasses, why your punch swings in agonizing slow motion. In each case, your dreaming brain issues the command to move. The paralysis blocks it, no feedback of movement returns, and so the dream constructs the experience of trying and failing. Heavy limbs, sluggish steps, a body that won't obey. It all traces back to the same source, a mind giving orders to a body that has been deliberately, protectively shut off for the night. So put it all together, and the helplessness turns inside out. The reason you can't scream in a nightmare is not weakness, and it's not your mind failing you. It's that every night, to keep you from hurting yourself as you thrash through your dreams, your brainstem paralyzes your entire body. When a nightmare pushes you to scream, your mind sends the command for real, but the paralysis holds it back, and your dream, honestly reading the silence of your locked body, paints it into the scene as the scream that won't come. And there's one final layer that makes it so uniquely terrifying, and it's this. A nightmare is, at its core, a threat simulation. It's your brain rehearsing danger, fear, being hunted, being trapped. And into that simulation of maximum threat, your body delivers the one sensation guaranteed to make it worse. Total helplessness. You are being chased and you genuinely cannot run. You are in danger and you genuinely cannot call for help. The paralysis that's protecting your sleeping body becomes, inside the story, the ultimate nightmare fuel. The very system keeping you safe is feeding the fear. And because the logical, questioning part of your brain is dialed way down during REM, you never stop to think this is impossible, this must be a dream. You just live it, fully, as the walls close in and your voice refuses to come. So the next time you wake from a nightmare, gasping, your heart hammering, still feeling the ghost of that scream that wouldn't come, remember what actually happened in there. You weren't powerless, you weren't failing. Your brain, in the middle of a terrifying story it was telling itself, was doing the quiet, unglamorous work it does every single night. Holding your body perfectly still so you couldn't hurt yourself. Sending your desperate commands into muscles it had lovingly, deliberately switched off. The scream that wouldn't come wasn't your body betraying you, it was your body protecting you. And your dream, faithful to the end, simply telling you what it felt like to be, for a few hours, safely and completely unplugged.